I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. Things I don't understand. No true words have been spoken under the sun. That I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Oh, the multitudes of sin. So many sins that exist under the sun. So many sins to be committed by us, the human species below the sun. They actually are amazing. So, this whole concept of sinning and sinning again got me thinking about how we try to actually amount to an image of perfection. This image of perfection is often something like what we uh, aspire to be. You know, some people are virtuous, want to be virtuous, aspire to be virtuous, and in their pursuit of being virtuous, sometimes they might find themselves sinning in one way or another. So I say this to say this, that we are not all very innocent in our ways, and being innocent can be one of the hardest things that is out there to attain, sometimes even harder than making money. So I this statement I'm making is all in relation to that perfection is a scale. Perfection is something that is yet to be attained, but it does not mean that you should stop trying to attain your level of perfection. If your perfection is being virtuous beyond sin, then you should strive to do that each and every day of your life. Even though you might not succeed on every attempt to be so, you will find that by trying, you will actually reach a certain level of perfection in that trying. Because a wise man once said that by striving for perfection, even though we might not reach it, we might reach excellence. I forget who actually said that, but when I read that quote, I realized like no, um, there is there is strong reason to actually try and try again. So, what I recommend that people should focus on trying is meditation. There is a unlimited amount of reasons and advantages and benefits that you can find by actually doing the act of meditating, because this act is not really one that is necessarily perfected, but it will perfect you. It does create a kingdom within you that actually is that is solidified by your resilience in doing the act over and over again. Now, the more you actually pursue this practice of meditation, the more you perfect the stillness and peace from within. Now, stillness is something that not a lot of people can fully fathom, but to tell you simply, stillness is basically what it sounds like. You know how our thoughts sometimes are things that are uncontrollable. You know how our emotions also sometimes fluctuate due to circumstances and situations. Well, I'm here to tell you that by meditating, both these can be stilled. Thoughts can be stilled. Emotions can be stilled. Now, I know what you're thinking, but aren't thoughts who I am? Aren't emotions another part of me? No, no, they are not. The same way you refer to your hand as my hand, it doesn't mean that you are the hand. It means that the hand is a part of you. So your thoughts as well, even though you have thoughts and you say my thoughts, You call them my, call them my by actually trying to, how you say, own them, but in actual fact, they are actually an emanation that happens due to the function of your brain. Now, the function of the human brain at its basis is to move the human body, but at another function that is undermined mostly by most is that the brain is a receiver of information and actually allows you to receive thoughts accordingly. You can take the brain as a type of radio, and this radio basically actually, when you are tuned to a certain frequency, to a certain station, it actually broadcasts the kinds of thoughts that you are having at the moment. So basically, when you are listening to your thoughts thinking that this is you, the you is actually the being that is actually listening. The thoughts are the station that you have tuned into. See, our bodies are more like instruments in this world, not so that they are our who we are in this world. They represent us. They are a representation of who we are. Yes, but they are more of an what you call an instrument used by the Most High in order to project consciousness. Because this whole concept of consciousness, when it is studied by neuroscience, they have discovered that there is no center of consciousness. They discovered that even memory itself, your body does not remember things from the brain. It actually remembers things throughout each and every cell. Each and every cell is able to carry memory. Therefore, each and every member of the body carries memory. Like for example, your toe remembers the first time you kicked it. It remembers how many times you kicked it on the table. Your heart remembers how many times it has been disappointed. Your mind remembers. Okay, not your mind. Your mind remembers as many things as it does, but it's also your liver that remembers how many times you have poisoned it with the food you eat. Every part of your body has a memory, has a working function that remembers. So this is to say this the same way with your thoughts. Your thoughts are not a part of you, but they are actually something that you listen to the same way that you listen to a radio. If you're listening to a radio station and you think to yourself, hmm, ah, these people have actually excellent thoughts, and you adopt them as your own, yes, you can adopt them, but in actual fact, you are still adopting something that is outside of you, that is outside of your body, outside of your mind, outside of your thinking brain. I say that to say this: when you meditate, this is the point where you actually get in contact and get in tune to who you truly are. Now, who you truly are is something so intrinsic, it is only definable as pure potentiality. Like, if anybody tries to tell me who they are using their first name or their last name or what they do in life, then this person has not discovered the truth, because your name, your surname, and what you do is basically something that was handed to you by the at the point of birth, the point where you actually moved into this planet from your mama's womb. So basically, whenever you come here identifying yourself as those things, know that you are identifying yourself with a false image, sis. You are identifying yourself with a false image, brother. So the true image is potentiality, because if you were to look at a room and you ask the room, yo, room, who are you without the contents of what I have placed in you? Because the room might think, I have a sofa inside of me, therefore I am sofa. Or I have a TV inside of me, therefore I am TV. Or maybe I have X and Y furniture inside of me, therefore I am X and Y furniture. But this is not true, because if you remove all that furniture, the room does not have much to identify with. So, what is a room without the contents of its self. And then when you realize a room is actual space, it is just space. It is literally space that was contained. It was space that was contained using walls. And these walls, they are they are a metaphor to just to define the confines of your mind. So now understand that your mind is actually a construct. Yes, God constructed the mind to actually be a receiver of thoughts, because we are actually supposed to use the mind to receive information, to be able to receive information and actually find our way through this reality. Because whenever you're seeking something, it is just a matter of you thinking, I'm seeking something long enough for the answer to come to you, because the mind was actually designed to actually do that, to seek out the information, just like a search engine. So yes, the universe did design a search engine way before you actually discovered Google. I say that to say this: when you are a being who is one with their meditations, this is you actually reaching higher and higher in your state of consciousness. And your state of consciousness, you must understand that it is something that is growing you in maturity, in terms of divine and spiritual matters. These divine matters are what truly determines if you are mature or not. Because age is just a number, guys. I said this in my other video. Age is just a number, because you can find an 8-year-old today and ask him for some wisdom. See if he'll be able to answer you. If you're lucky, yeah, maybe. But if you are like the majority of us, you'll find that some people, no matter their age, are still quite dull, still quite clueless about deeper intrinsic parts of our reality and the deeper thoughts that need knowing. So I say that to say this: meditation will allow you to actually truly discover yourself. When they say know thyself, you're supposed to know yourself beyond your physical body, because this physical body is basically a coffin. Yes, your physical body is a coffin. It will lie in the dirt and encase the intrinsic soul within, regardless of you whether you want to admit this or not. This physical coffin is what you use to get around, but once it dies out, there is no reviving it. If it's time to die out, it will die out. And tell me, if the body is too dead to receive any thoughts whatsoever, then who were you actually identifying with? Were the thoughts were ever you, or were they just another effect of the body? This is why when you truly connect through meditation, you start to understand the deeper aspects of reality. Start to understand your own image beyond an image, beyond the body. You are now no longer contained. You actually start to ascend higher, depending on how deep your meditation is and how long you've been doing it. So the reason why you actually zone out when you try to meditate or you fall asleep is because you are actually going out of the body and realizing your true self as the soul that is made out of nothingness. Because nothingness is actually something, and that something is the substance of the universe, which is known as the dark matter, or as the Africans call it, the Ka. This dark matter is basically what makes up reality, and it allows you to actually formulate the materials needed in order to actually direct energy to form around your reality. This is very, very deep in metaphysical standings, but metaphysically is the real reality, because before anything that was seen, there was the unseen. So I say that to say this: meditate, for you will discover your true self.